ओम जय स्वाहा माता।
बोलिए श्री महासरस्वती माता की।
हे दयालु हे कृपालु जगत जननी भगवती। हे दयालु हे कृपालु हे दयालु हे कृपालु जगत जननी भगवती। मेरे सिर पर हाथ रख दे, मेरे सिर पर हाथ रख दे। हे सरस्वती शांभवी हे दयालु हे कृपालु हे दयालु हे कृपालु। शारदे भवतारिणी सुरपूजिते भवहारिणी। शारदे शारदे भवतारिणी सुरपूजिते भवहारिणी। दूर कर देते मेरे मन को, दूर कर देते मेरे मन को। ध्यान धन बलदायिनी, ध्यान धन बलदायिनी। श्वेत वसना सौम्य वदना, श्वेत वसना सौम्य वदना। तू है वाणी भारिणी हे दयालु हे कृपालु। सर्वदा नवघातिनी भवमोक्षिणी शुभकारिणी। सर्वदा नवघातिनी भवमोक्षिणी शुभकारिणी। अभय वरदे हम हरने, अभय वरदे हम हरने। सुंदरी सुर सुंदरी, सुंदरी सुर सुंदरी। बहुल प्रेम जयंती विमला, बहुल प्रेम जयंती विमला। हे सरस्वती शाम्भवी दयालु हे कृपालु हे दयालु हे कृपालु हे दयालु हे कृपालु।
बोलिए श्री महासरस्वती माता की जय। Now, devotees, have we ever asked ourselves, when you hear certain things happen, how certain people behave? Have we ever asked ourselves the question, is that person a human being? Now, if this question arises, it means that we have some idea in our head as to what a human being is supposed to be like. When atrocious things are done to shock us, we are taken aback, and then we ask that question. Now, when wonderful things are done to cause great joy, happiness, peace, fulfillment on all sides, nobody asks if that person is a human being. But when wrong things are done, atrocious things are done, the question is asked. So that it means that we know, we have an idea as to what a human being is supposed to be like. Now, what we do is to make a mistake in classifying people as human beings by just the form that we see. So we look at somebody, there's a head, 2 hands, nice big smiling mouth, whatever, human being, human form. But the sages in their wisdom, they have created some differentiation. And there's a simple statement. Manush mein manush hai. Manush mein kachu bhed. Manush mein koi devta. Manush mein koi preet. What does this mean? Not every human being you see is a human being. Meaning attitudes and so on. Amongst the humans, you have genuine human beings. Manush mein manush hai. But manush mein kachu bhed. And there are also differences. Manush mein koi devta. Amongst human beings, you have gods in human form. And you would understand what a god implies. Beneficence and, very, very kind, graceful, etc. Good people. You call them saints, gods in human form. Or manush mein koi preet. You have evil spirits, as we say, goblins, demons, animals in human form. How could this be? So, there's a little story which I have heard from our Shankaracharya, which I like to relate, to remind you. There was a sadhu who went seeking alms to satisfy his hunger. This was where he lived. His mind would be on God, and he would, from place to place seek alms, and he would, take care of himself with whatever he got. But one day, for the whole day, he went from house to house, seeking alms. At the end of the day, he didn't get even a single grain of rice. Very pained, not to mention hungry. He came to a little forested area, and he saw his Swami sitting there. This person, this Swami, practiced renunciation, peace within himself, in the world but not of the world, different disposition. Sadhu went to the Swami, sat there and began to cry. Swami said, Sadhu, why are you crying? Sadhu said, Swami, I am hungry. Is that why you are crying? Why don't you go get something to eat? Sadhu said, I sought alms for the entire day, but I got nothing. Then the Swami asked, but from whom did you seek these alms? Sadhu said, from whom else, Swami? Human beings, people. Haven't go to the animals to ask for alms. Then the Swami said, Sadhu, this is your mistake. मानुष में कछु भेद, मानुष में कोई देवता, मानुष में कोई प्रेत. Sadhu said, Swami, at this time you see all this gyan and this knowledge, I don't want, I want food. When a man hungry, give him gyan. I want food, Swami. Swami said, all right, there's nothing we can do tonight. Look at it that you have fasted for the whole day. Tomorrow morning, I'll tell you what to do. So early next morning, they got up and they took their bath, and early would be like around 4, half 4. Not early like many of us, 10:30, 11. Early. Took their bath and performed the daily ablutions. They offered the oblations, performed their duties. And just as dawn was breaking, as we say, Swami said, Sadhu, go out today and seek alms. But today is a difference. I'm going to give you a pair of spectacles, a pair of glasses, as we say. Before you ask anybody, put on this pair of glasses and look at them. And if they look as a human being, only then ask them. Don't ask them otherwise. Don't approach them. Sadhu couldn't understand this because, his eyes were good. He had 20/20 vision. Why have to wear glasses? But they said, all right, the Swami instructed me, let me go. Early morning time, going out, he saw 2 ladies dressed from head to foot. Now the story says ladies, and don't ask me why not the man. 2 ladies dressed from head to foot in their sari and so on. Head covered nicely, basket of flowers and prasad and so on, going towards temple. Sadhu said, these are 2 devotees, they must give me something. But then he remembered what the Swami said. So he said, let me put on the glasses and see what the Swami talking about. When the fellow put on the glasses and he looked at these 2 ladies, if he had a weak heart, he would have died right there. He got a shock of his life. These 2 ladies, looking like human beings from the neck come down, but the head appeared different. One had dog head, one had cat head. And the 2 of them going and the mouth going like this, going temple. But you know what they're doing? Normally when they live like this, always fighting, always arguing, like cat and dog we say, na? Sworn enemy. But they're going temple together. But while going temple, you think their mind on God? They talk about everybody else's business, but they're going temple to pray. Actions, behavior, attitudes. Sadhu saw that. He said, I can't ask them. One is dog, one is cat. And so he turned away. Hunger still there. To put it in simple terms, he approached every single human being he came across, but before, now interested to see what kind of head, who had. Putting on the glasses and looking. Some have snake head. That kind. They're in the grass, they're waiting to sting you. Human beings, eagle head, bird head, chicken brain, goat head. Some have no head like crab, running headless, all different direction. The king, he saw the king. When he put on the glasses, the king like a lion, roaring on all sides. Everybody is afraid of him. What is this boy? Well, worse yet. Yesterday he was seen starved, today he's seen more, starving more. Whole day, couldn't get anything from anybody because he couldn't see a human being. As dusk was descending again, he came to the outskirts of the city, and there he saw an outcast. Society called him an outcast. He was a shoemaker. Sitting there by himself, sewing shoes. Sadhu said, if all these, I didn't tell you, but it goes without saying that plenty of the panda in the temple and thing, all them have all kind of animal head too, Every man, without exception, different kind of head. You see, the glasses gave him the sight to see the true character of the person as exemplified by the kind of head they had. How you behave, that's the kind of head you have. The man was seeing that, Sadhu was seeing that. So he said, but this outcast, I wonder, he might have a hog head or something. Because he's outcast. But let me still try the glasses. When he put on the glasses, the man looked in the same way. Now Sadhu, so accustomed for the whole day seeing animal head, he thought to himself, the glasses stopped working. Take it out, clean it back, put it back, because he wants to see animal head. You see what happens to us? The conditioning that we are exposed to. And we jump to conclusions. Tried it, put it back on, same thing. Took it off, cleaned it, put it back, same thing. This outcast was looking as a true human being, complete. He said, well, let me go and approach him. So this sannyasi, this shoemaker, sitting there, and while doing his work, you know what he was doing? Sewing shoes. Sewing. Aage chale bahuri raghu rai. Sewing. The man's mind, his thoughts, his words were upon God while he performed his duty. And many sit in temple to worship God, and where the mind is. Think. The double standards, the hypocrisy that exists. This man genuine. The work wasn't a burden. As we say, no parkain and chankain. He did his duty with a joy, but society considered him to be an outcast. Because he didn't fit into their social stratum, their bracket, whatever it may be. Now, devotees, what determines what a true human being is? Not behavior, attitude. Watch what happened. When Sadhu went closer to this shoemaker, and people don't really go close to them because they're outcast, the shoemaker dropped everything and rushed forward. Sadhu, Sitaram, Sitaram, welcome, welcome, welcome. The shoemaker living under a tree, and he welcomed the sadhu to his home under the tree. Yeah? And you know, as I said many times, sometimes people come to meet us, you tell each other, go and tell them my father ain't home. Shall go and say, my father say he not home. Yeah. And devotees, Atithi Devo Bhava. That guest is like God. So we are told. Culture. Devotees, in simple terms again, that shoemaker gave a special seat to the sadhu to sit upon. Welcomed him, such joy in his heart. Body quivering, love overflowing. The milk of human kindness. He asked Sadhu, would you have something to eat? Sadhu said, that is why I came, O shoemaker. I'm hungry. And some chapati, old time, 2 days old chapati with water. But when you're hungry, everything tastes good. Sadhu ate that full of relish. He enjoyed himself because he was hungry. After 2 days getting something to eat. And he lay down to sleep on the shoemaker's bed, which is B-A-G, bag. Spread a bag in the ground. And not only that, shoemaker massaged Sadhu, performed seva until Sadhu slept away. Not the slightest bit of negativity. Not the slightest bit of negativity. Early morning, Sadhu got up and he performed his, together with the shoemaker, of course, and performed his normal duties. And then he took his leave of the shoemaker. He said, I have to return. For the Swami had told him, bring back my glasses. Come back and tell me what your experiences are. Sadhu went back by Swami. He said, Swami, you see these glasses of yours? You better take it back, yes? Because once I have this, I'm going to starve every day. And now the sadhu now saying, Manush mein manush hai, manush mein kachu bhed. Manush mein koi devta, manush mein koi pret. Oh Swami, I have learned that not every human being you see is a human being. You have saints in human form. Holy beings, divine ones in human form. You have spirits, you have animals without tail and horn in human form. Oh Sadhu, oh Swami, I have learned this. The glasses show me, really. And devotee Swami gave me that glasses. I have that glasses from since then to now. It's a painful thing to wait and see the heads. It's a painful thing. But what can you tell anybody? What can you say? Now, normally people will want to look at somebody else and say, I wonder what kind of head he has, boy. What kind of head she has. I want you to go home and look into the mirror and see what kind of head you have. Do you have that milk of human kindness inside of you? We call ourselves human beings, the highest form of creation. Do we conduct ourselves like that? Do we behave like that? Is it deviant behavior? Is it our character skewed? And only I could do something about me and you for you. But you know what? That is not how we are supposed to be if we are skewed. We are all special individuals. I am okay, you're okay, we are all okay. Each individual is unique. What I am is God's gift to me. But what I make of myself is my gift to God. Many of us, it's very sad what we make of ourselves. Very, very sad. We become the embodiment of hate, anger, irritation, all negative things. Why? We all controlled by external stimuli. We don't have that self-discipline. And yet, we are the best that there is in creation. If I can make myself into what I'm supposed to be. Get rid of the negativities. And Shaivism tells us that each individual, we possess 6 limitations. And if I can rise beyond this, I can find my true nature. Maya, which is the illusion of individuality. There is one Brahm, one Supreme Lord. All these so-called Jeev individual souls, all part and parcel of that one Supreme. But I see myself as an individual. I'm separate and different from you. And every scripture tells you, love thy neighbors to thyself. Don't hurt others. Do unto others as you have them do unto you. Why? Because when I hurt you, I hurt myself. It is the non-duality that exists. But I see that I'm an individual. And once, that leads to selfishness, not selflessness, which is where we're supposed to go. And because of this Maya, then I have 5 other limitations. Limitation of place. Well, I live in Arangwes. Body, not me. I am not body. The body is a shell. We have to understand that. Body is a shell. The inner part, the true me, the true you. Chedananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. I am one with divinity. I have to realize that. So I am ageless and timeless. So therefore I come to the next one. Kal, limitation of time. How old am I? Is the body, not me, not the real me. But we put that limitation on ourselves. Attachment. I want this and I want that. Not need, want. So there is need and there is greed. Greed is the order of the day. Nobody satisfied. Always, most times you're satisfied with enough knowledge. I finished my first degree, I'm good. I went to temple once a week. Me abang to pray again till next week. These things that can sustain you, we have enough. But those things that bind us to this world, we crave for more. There's no contentment. So rag, limitation of attachment. Yeah? You have vidya, limitation of knowledge. You have specialists, engineer, doctor, lawyer, whatever have you. People don't seem to understand that all knowledge is inside. I go beyond these limitations. Creativity, I go beyond that also. What am I? Who am I? I am one with divinity. And devotees, if we understand this and rise beyond these limitations, but I keep saying the onion, go beyond the outer layers. Get to the inner core. Each of us is like that onion. Try to go beyond the outer layers. Some people have not even gone beyond the skin, which is the easiest part to get rid of. And you have to do it for you. We are depriving ourselves of that inner bliss. That is our true nature. By being too superficial, outside, external. Try the journey inside. Try it inside. Rise beyond the limitations. I just want you to remind yourselves how special each person is. Not in a negative sense to develop complexes, but from a spiritual point of view, and try to tap into that spirituality. And the worship of divinity helps us to get close to that state. So I want to reflect upon this. Each person, self-analysis, self-study. They call this mati. Self-analysis, critical self-analysis. Weed out all the weeds of vices. Allow the seeds of virtues to blossom inside. Identify with your true nature. Aham Brahmasmi. You are special. Each person is special. try to find yourself. So having said that, the journey is always towards Godhood. And when we say we go to God, going to God means finding ourselves. Self-realization is equivalent to God realization. So we all join together as we glorify that divine in a simple kirtanam. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Leela Purushottam, Jagat Guru. जय बाल मुकुंदा कृष्ण गोविंदा यशोमती के लाल की ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती
बाल मुकुंदा कृष्ण गोविंदा यशोमती के लाल हे मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती
जय बाल मुकुंदा ये जग में ज्योति अंतकरण की प्रकाश कराने वाला
ये प्रकाश कराने वाला
परमार्थ बताने वाला
परमार्थ बताने वाला
ये श्याम सुंदर की वर गिरधर की चहु ओर उजियार है ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती जय बाल मुकुंदा ये अमृत वाणी वेद बखानी संत रिझाने वाला
ये संत रिझाने वाला
भव पार कराने वाला
भव पार कराने वाला
ब्रह्म ज्ञान यही स्वर्ग धाम यही कुंजन मोहन छवि धाम ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती जय बाल मुकुंदा
ॐ जय स्वाहा